Jazzy sweet babies. Hi. No, they're all very personable. They all love me. Because I'm their segregate mama. Yeah. But their mommy's Jazzy. Jazzy's so sweet. And she's so Jazzy's F1B. Look at 35 pounds. She's a big English built dog. So she's got a lot of the English bloodline in her. The English golden retriever, that big boxy look. And you love your puppies to lay on their bellies like this and stretch out their hind legs. This shows that they have good conformation, that their hips are in good shape. Look at them. See, the floor is a little slicker in here, in the office here, than their puppy building that they're in, because the floor in there is a little rougher texture. And they can rough around because in the back, about third is shredded paper where they go potty at, so they're paper trained. And the shredded paper feels just like grass to them, and that's why my puppies train so quickly, because they can transfer the feel of, the paper to the feel of the grass. It's sort of the same texture. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm out here, I need to go potty on this. Because they learn to keep their play area then clean, which is the concrete area. So although this floor is a little slicker, so I think I get control of it better than they did when they were 5 weeks old. It's sort of like when you take them to your house and you have well, it's exactly like, then you have a hardwood floor or you have carpeting, and they'll go running on the carpet and they'll run into the tile or wooden floor and they'll fall down because they didn't prepare themselves, and then they get used to it, and finally they're running all over your house. See, they're puppies. They just learn different things. Okay, so yes, they're learning the bell to go outside. And I was in there earlier, but I'm out here now with the door closed, so you cannot run between the grooming room and the visiting room right now. Going to keep you all corralled so I can see you all in the video. I have 2 adult dogs in here, but they're just random dogs playing around. There's Buffy, the red and white. She's actually 5 generations from here. So she has Noah, Chewbacca, Simon in her, which these puppies, Simon is their grandfather, Noah's their great-grandfather, and Chewbacca's their dad. So pretty much you get the same look. Not the color, I'm talking about the coat texture. Or here, this one, the gold. So the gold boy that I have with the black ribbons, Jabbar. No. Where's Jabbar? There's Jabbar. That coat, that wavy to shaggy coat, ends up looking like Miss Emmy here. Emmy! Of course, she only weighs 18 pounds, so they'll be a lot bigger than Emmy, but this is the look you get. And she was groomed about, pretty much 3-4 weeks ago. And I never brush them. So this is what the unkept golden doodle looks like from me. Because they're a little thing about the English golden retriever bloodline. Their coats don't mat like the Americans do. The Americans have American golden retriever has more of a hair-like feel. And their hair mats more. The English is softer and doesn't really mat. So kudos to the English for so many things. Health being the #1 factor. English golden retrievers are way more healthier. The average lifespan of an English golden retriever is 13 to 18 years. An American golden retriever is 8 to 13 years. If I hear somebody say they have a American golden retriever that's 13, I'm astounded, and I'm like, wow, you are very lucky. Count yourself. I mean, you're just blessed to even have one reach 11 years old, because like 80% of them have cancer by the time they're 8 years old. English golden retriever, that would be rare to have cancer unless some bad breeder messed up some bloodline along the line. But that's why you do all the health testing. English golden retrievers are from the UK, Russia area. The breeder line that I got mine from is Russ Picos. He's been showing these dogs for 60, 70 years, and in the UK, what really makes the difference is in order to register the puppies, and I believe the initials are RFK, or F, maybe Federal, RK. But either way, their guidelines state that in order to register a litter of puppies under that registration, both, I know Daddy's out there running around with the adults, he's stirring them up. But in order to register the puppies, both parents must be fully health tested and receive their championship ribbon in the show ring. So what breeders do in the UK is they keep all their puppies until they're 7 months old, and that's when they can first enter the show ring. And then that's how they decide which parent dogs they're going to keep, by their champion potential, because that's what keeps the registration going on the puppies. Because the average English Golden Retriever cost from the UK, when I first started, like 15 years ago, it was around $3,500 to get one shipped here, and now it's closer to between $8,000 and $10,000. So that's why a lot of Golden Doodle breeders don't use the English Golden Retrievers. They'd rather go find an American Golden Retriever for $400, not do any genetic testing, and therefore giving the Golden Doodles a bad name. So the English Golden Doodle line, you know, they should live 13 to 18 years. So, you know, like over last year, I had 2 people whose Golden Doodles had passed away, and they came back here for a second one, and both of them were 13 years old. So that would be like the minimum they probably start passing away, because I've heard of a lot of mine, you know, being 15 years old now. But a lot of people, when their dog gets, I mean, of course, when they get older, I've got one in the house that's 14, and all she does is lay around. So then I brought in Miss Emmy here, this gold one, this puppy, to kind of give her some energy and to get her moving and playing again. And that's what a lot of people do when they're, this last year, you know, a lot of them have 11, 12-year-old dogs, Golden Doodles from me, and they're coming back for a second one because they want their senior dog to get more active. So if you want a dog here that looks like Emmy, has this beautiful coat, and that color, go with the Black Ribbon Boy Jabbar. So that's the gold one here. He'll probably lighten up to about that. And then Jig sort of has like a little cafe au lait to him. The curly puppy there, Jordy, has a lot of cafe au lait. You can see how it's not a golden color. It's more like chocolate milk looking. And then the pink ribbon is the beautiful girl, Miss Jody. See, somebody better jump on her, because my son's asking his landlord if he can have a third dog, and he's got his eye on Jody yet. He hasn't confirmed that, and because he doesn't really think he'll be allowed a third dog. He's just hoping. So, and he's also looking to buy a house, so he's kind of in between really wanting Jody, and I'm still leaving her on the market because he really doesn't know. And if she's gone, he'll just wait for another litter. That's the pros of being my son, huh? Because I've got a son in Cincinnati that has one, and then I have another son. He's getting ready to transfer his job back to Indianapolis and looking for a house. He's already told me what he wants in his next puppy. Well, his first puppy. He said he'll be ready once he buys his house. So I just have a whole, all my puppy-loving kids or dog-loving kids, they take this is how I became why I became a breeder when I bred my first litter. Was just basically, well, I was on the sofa for 4 months, laid up and leg in a cast, so I had 4 months to study breeding and puppies and dogs and puppy care, adult care, and I was a human resource manager, so, you know, following guidelines is basically what I've done with my job forever. Guidelines and rules and installing rules, and I was also safety. So, you know, I grew up, you know, I have the safety embedded in my mind too, all the safety seminars I've attended, and then the safety meetings at work. And my daughter's litters are listed on my website too, but when you get to their litters, it'll say Brittany or Abby under them. And when you click to open their page, then it takes you to their website. So they each have 4 and 5 dogs now that they're breeding. And I do list them on my website because my website's older, established, and always going to be on top of the Google list now because it is so well established. But puppies. Okay, here's my girl, Jody. Look at her running around. So, and then look at that boy. That Mr. Jigs, isn't it? He has a blue ribbon. Jigs, there's Jigs. And look at this beautiful coat, which is going to be just like this girl. Yeah, it's going to be just like you, huh? I know. It's just a little bigger than you. And you too, right? Because you got Simon in your bloodline. And this dog, these were, Simon is their great-grandfather and probably Buffy's great-grandfather too. And there's Buffy. But that's where the red and white party came from. And also some of the white markings. So all these puppies have Simon, Chewbacca, and Noah in their bloodline, which are my stud dogs here. And so does Miss Buffy there. So Buffy's got a tiny bit more curl than Miss M. She just has the wavy coat. So if you just want that wavy coat, look at Jigs. Go with Jigs there if you want that look. They'll be a little bigger, Jazzy's puppies will, because Miss Emmy only weighs 18 pounds. And these puppies are more like 28 to 35 pounds because their mom, Jazzy, has that, you know, big, stocky English built to her. Look at him play with that. Sometimes they remind me of cats. You know, they get up and they pounce and stuff. So, Black Ribbon Boy, Jabbar. So he's dark golden. Maybe be a tad darker than Miss M. And Jigs. Jigs is kind of more cafe au lait. Kind of more of a brownish tint than a gold tint. But yes, they do know the doorbell. And they want to go outside. And they were playing in my grooming room earlier, which is the door to the left. And I corralled them all in here so I could keep them all together for their video. Yesterday, the sun was shining, and I tried to take puppies from Lizzie's and Lala's litters outside, but the pictures were horrible with all the bright sun. So finally you get sun, and I'm going to complain about it. So it was better just to keep them in here for our video and pictures. But they are wanting to go outside when the sun is shining, that's for sure. Say, so am I. And I love it when the dogs lay with their legs behind them and stretching out. It means they have good hip formation, good, strong, healthy bones. Look at that. Hey, get away from her butt. Why dogs have to sniff each other's butt says, hey, what are you eating? And where have you been? It's exactly what they know by sniffing butts. Would you guys quit? I'm talking to the older ones that would jump up and get out of the way so I can see the puppies. But they want to play too, don't they? Look at the puppies. Oh, you just like playing with the older dogs, don't you? Who's back there, Jigs? But I guess this gives you an idea of, yes, these puppies are used to other dogs and how they'll get along if you have another dog at home already. They'll just wrestle. Mine do these. These two do go at this a couple of times during the day. And this one, she's only 1 year old, so she is learning from Buffy too. Like if I'm at my desk and I sneeze, Buffy has to come check on me and make sure I'm okay. So they just pick up on things on their own. My daughter's dog, Macy, when my grandson got his breathing machine, when he was about 8 years old, maybe 10 when he got his breathing machine. But Macy started like sleeping like right next to his chest, right on top of his chest, and she'd just like stare at the breathing machine all night long. So what can I say different about these 4 puppies? Other than coat type, pretty much personality is all the same. I can't, you know, I don't have a shy puppy. No, rule that out. An aggressive puppy? No, I can rule that out. Don't see any aggression here. They're just playful. For like a working class dog, you want a big toy drive. So they have that. You want them to be outgoing. They have that. I just took their pictures and I just posed them any which way. And they just sat there. I sat them to the left. I sat them to the right. I mean, they just like stand up, sit down. I know, you said sit and you just sit. Look at him, he's so cute. And that's the yellow ribbon Jordy. He's the cafe au lait puppy. So he's full out like cafe au lait, light cafe au lait, which is like a chocolate milk color. And that's also kind of where Jigs follows into the dark cafe. Those are poodle genetic colors that are in their background. And then more golden there would be the black ribbon boy, Jabbar, ringing the bell back there. So the 3 wavy coated puppies are going to be like this. Slightly more curly would be the yellow ribbon Jordy there. That's Jordy's look, would be more like Buffy's coat in the back because her head's kind of more flattened. So you want a little curlier. He's probably going to be just more curlier in the face than Buffy is. It's like Buffy's curls there on her withers, her shoulders. That'll be more like Jordy's coat around his head too, just a little bit more curl. Kind of just makes their fur stick out more. So I could watch you puppies all day, but I'm going to have to cut this video off soon or it'll take 8 hours to load onto YouTube because my Wi-Fi here stinks. But that's what you get when you live in the middle of 80 acres on the edge of town. Look at he wants to play. There's a little girl, Jody. Got mixed up between the two. Jordy there, the curly puppy, with the